All right, let's talk about Anthony Richardson, quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. We got to see him maybe have his best game in an NFL uniform. I know it was preseason and he didn't even start the game, so it was, going up against backups, but still, I thought he played well. Like, for example, this stuff, which is actually what I want to see from him, running the offense stuff. We know he can make some great athletic plays. We want to see him run the offense. You see something right here where you're trying to get a receiver towards the top of the screen open in a gap in coverage. When this play begins, it is going to get open. I will say, a bit of a tougher throw than it actually looks like. I mean, Richardson is at the hash marks towards the bottom of the screen, throwing all the way to the top of the screen. Makes it for a bit of a tough angle. Got to get it there quickly. But the window's big enough. He's able to make it work. Again, nice, accurate throw, well-timed. This is the stuff that I like to see from Richardson, and stuff that I felt we didn't see a ton of year one and year two, and we barely got to see him in his first preseason game. But this is what we like to see a little bit more. Like this next play, again, these are not difficult plays. It's not even a difficult read, really. It's zone coverage. You're just trying to get into a gap in coverage over the middle. Richardson takes a snap. This gets open. And again, the whole preseason, we're midway through the second quarter, which is not quite as difficult as starting a preseason game is, which already isn't quite as difficult as an NFL game. You do have big windows. But, again, this is when you want the ball to come out, right? And that timing stuff, it still matters even when guys are wide open. Watch as this is, again, really accurate throw, and okay, that was perfectly timed, that was well accurate. If it's not either of those things, I don't know if this is a completion. Yes, this was a big window by NFL standards, but you still have to do those things if you're going to complete these passes. And again, the other thing is when the window gets smaller, you're going to now need to time these throws well and everything, right? And one other thing I should mention is when I evaluate someone's preseason performance, what I'm not doing is saying just straight up, how good did you play? Because, it is a meaningless game. I want to see how much have you improved on things you need to improve upon, and that's what I'm seeing from him, which is exciting. We can go over to this play next. So this is just a really good play by Richardson. So they're going to try and get him moving. He's going to go fake a handoff, roll out towards the top of the screen. You have a couple routes in that direction. 3rd and 4. So important thing is to get to the 15-yard line right here. Okay, let's see what happens. Richardson's going to take the snap, and you see that there is a receiver who he could throw to right now and potentially get this conversion. And I actually wonder if it's 1st and 10, if that's just what he does. You're going to get the catch, and maybe something better will happen. But you got to get to the 15-yard line. Sure, if you gain 3 yards, you can go for it, but you don't want to be in that position. You don't want to end up walking away with nothing here, right? You want the first down. But watch how he just waits for this to develop a little bit more. It gets more open, and then he's able to flip it and get the first down right there. I'm just going to say this, and people are going to get mad, but just don't freak out yet. That reminds me of Patrick Mahomes, right? I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes or anything like that, but that's the kind of little thing that Mahomes would do to allow what shouldn't be a first down to be a first down. So, again, I'm not trying to say he's Patrick Mahomes now. All I'm saying is that it's that little detail that he wasn't doing year 1 and year 2 that even if it's just preseason, it's nice to see him be doing now. Also heading over to this next play, so you have its zone coverage. You're going to have him roll out towards the top of the screen right here. Again, they're trying to move him, right? He's such a good athlete. Let's use that to our advantage. Richardson is going to, run this play action. Again, he rolls out towards the top of the screen. Does have a receiver open. Again, these are preseason windows. It is what it is. Got a guy open, but still have to throw kind of off balance. This is going to be an accurate throw. They're able to pick up, 9 yards on that play. Richardson's accuracy thing is weird, right? Because it does feel like if you only watch his completions, you would say, why does anyone think this guy has accuracy issues? Because it's not like he'll kind of miss a throw here and there. It feels like he either puts one right on the money or misses it clearly. I guess there are some slight misses. In fact, there were some slight misses in this game. For example, here you're going to see Richardson on this one. This was a slight miss, but definitely throws it behind his running back. You also had this one, which this was a bit of a dangerous play, actually. Led his running back a bit too much. This is, this is how guys get hurt. I mean, if you overthrow it like that, a lot of times it means that the guy trying to make the catch can't adjust to the ball or can't look and see where they're going while they try to adjust for the ball, and because of that, can sometimes get hurt that way. So definitely, you don't want to be missing those types of throws. And also this play I didn't love. It's zone coverage, and he's trying to fit it through a tight window, but there are 3 Packers players in that area. Looks like Richardson was trying to make that throw and just threw it over everyone's head. That's too dangerous of a throw there, in my opinion, when you're up 10 points and it's 2nd and goal at the 20. Like, I just don't think that's the right call right there. Play it safe, and hopefully you can get an opportunity, but if there's no opportunity, just throw a check down. And plus, like, again, it's another missed throw. So there were some. There was not 0 negative plays here. But again, I can deal with, 1 probably not the smartest decision and 3 total missed throws if you're going to give me the rest of the positives, which he did in this game. Because, like, we can go over here now. I already talked about kind of the designed running and him doing a very good job, in my opinion, on script on these plays. But you're going to see this is a man coverage play on 3rd down and 9. Richardson takes a snap, and he does look to see if something gets open, but very quickly says, you know what? Few people are better with the ball in their hands than me. Let me rush up and pick up the 1st down right there. Again, the running is very good. And while I typically mock guys for taking hits in the preseason because, like, hey, not mock, but I criticize it because, hey, you got to protect yourself. He's trying to win a starting job. I mean, you gotta do what you can. I think this is absolutely, like, he's gotta leave it all on the line, basically. And again, his running is such a part of who he is as a player. Showing that he has that is impressive. So, okay, he can run. He can, he was doing a good job on script on these plays. And, of course, he had the one play that if you've been on Twitter recently, you've probably seen. It was this play, 3rd down and 2, and it's worth mentioning before we even get into this play, there's going to be a horrible, like, pick play on the top of the screen that gets called for offensive pass interference, so none of this matters, but Richardson's looking elsewhere. He's looking towards the bottom of the screen, and watch how. So he takes a snap, he looks in that direction, fires in that direction, and it's not wide open. Also, he was kind of drifting away towards the top of the screen, so it doesn't even fully get his feet planted the way that you would want to in a situation like that. It's Anthony Gold who he is trying to throw this pass to. And watch this really accurate throw. I also got to say, that Packers defender just whiffed on that ball, didn't he? I mean, it seemed like he had it lined up and just missed it. But it was a perfect throw from Richardson, which gave them the chance for that play to work. So awesome stuff there by Anthony Richardson. And again, he didn't even fully have his feet planted. So yeah, I mean, listen, I feel like I pretty much always came away from every game I've seen Richardson play and said, like, yeah, that probably wasn't good enough. Like, even when he's had good moments, it's usually surrounded by, like, bad plays. He had the good moments. I don't care about that. I know he can run well. I know he has a big arm. I know he can make awesome plays and awesome highlights. The concern is when you're only making 4 awesome highlights and then 20 bad plays, it doesn't work. The math doesn't work there. But when you're making 4 awesome plays, 4 bad plays, and then like 12 good plays, well, now the math works, right? It's like a volcano. The first question is it tall enough to be a cool volcano? He definitely is tall enough. He has the big arm. He has the running. The second question is it going to just be constantly erupting and nobody's going to ever want to visit it? The Jameis Winston volcano has been erupting every day, right? You want to get the eruptions down. It can erupt every now and then. You can plan around that. It just can't be constantly erupting. And that's what you're hoping with Richardson, is that you can just not have the eruptions too often. You can live with a couple. I don't know. I probably wouldn't go to a volcano if it erupted even every now and then. But you get the analogy. Those are my thoughts on Anthony Richardson. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.